afternoon. Have you ever heard the name Steven Spielberg? If not, Steven Spielberg is an Academy Award-winning director. He's most known for his movies E.T., Saving Private Ryan, and Schindler's List. When asked about technology, Spielberg gave a rather long answer, but I think it's very notable and something worth listening to. When asked about it, Spielberg stated, "Technology can be our best friend, and technology can also be the biggest party pooper of our lives. It interrupts our own story, interrupts our ability to have a thought or a daydream, to imagine something wonderful, because we're too busy bridging the walk from the cafeteria back to the office on the cell phone." Think about cell phones in your life. I'm sure many of you have a cell phone. I'm sure you know many people that have them. Have you ever noticed them being a distraction either to you or to other people? For me, I've noticed it as a distraction in my life many, many times, and I notice it a lot in public, at restaurants, people just looking at their phone. They don't intentionally ignore people, it's just how our world is currently. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about how our smartphones are affecting us, and I do this with hopes that you'll see the benefits of intentionally learning to put your phone down from time to time. There is no denying that technology heavily impacts the world around us, and though it is positive in some ways, it's also negative. So as humans, I find it important that we take notice of these effects and work on lessening the negative effects that we allow it to have on us. Pew Research Center did a study on cell phone usage in the United States. They found that 97% of Americans have cell phones, and 85% have smartphones, meaning that they have availability to internet and popular apps. Initially, when I heard this, I wasn't too surprised by the stats, because I honestly can't think of a single adult in my life that doesn't have a smartphone. So I wasn't too surprised to hear these statistics. And there are many benefits to having smartphones, be it being able to connect with people you don't see often, or keeping people up to date with your life, or even entertainment, which isn't always a bad thing. But with benefits come consequences. The Greater Good magazine interviews MIT professor Sherry Tuckle. In this interview, she was being talked to about her newest book, and she was asked the question, how are cell phones and technology hurting us? Her response to this was, if you put a cell phone into a social interaction, it does two things. First, it decreases the quality of what you're talking about, because you talk about things that you wouldn't mind being interrupted, which makes sense. And secondly, it decreases the empathetic connection people feel towards each other. And not only do we see an effect of technology between interactions with others, but we also see it in the form of over-reliance. Medical News Today has an article entitled, "What is Nomophobia?" In the article, it states, nomophobia refers to a fear of not having mobile phone connectivity. It can cause panic or anxiety for the person experiencing it. Now, to you, this may seem unreal, but it very often happens that people can't go without their phones. There's no known cause as far as research so far, but their assumed cause is that when we pick up a smartphone, we get instant communication and instant gratification that we don't always get in a social setting. Along with this, we can see many possible health effects, one being the loss of sleep. Now, me and many people I know would agree that we lose sleep almost every single night because we choose to sit on our phone, watching social media, texting, watching shows, things like that. Now, Mark Burton, in the article, How to Stop Phones from Hurting Our Health, he says that phones disrupt sleep not only because of the light that stimulates our brains to stay awake, but because we get wrapped up in using them to watch shows, text, and otherwise remain plugged into our posts and past our ideal bedtime. I know that I do this, and I don't know about you guys, but it happens far more often than I'd like to admit. Another common health effect we see with the overuse of technology is talked about on WFMC Health website. They have an article called How to Take More Screen Breaks Throughout the Day. In this, they discuss the effects that our screens can have on our eyes. They say, when using devices with screens, your eyes stay in a fixed position for a period of time, which can lead to eye strain, fatigue, and headaches. Taking regular screen breaks will help minimize these issues and give your eyes a chance to reset by focusing on something else. Have you ever been on your phone for a really long time, whether you were working or watching a show or aimlessly scrolling on social media? And then you get off of your phone and you look around and it takes a minute for your eyes to readjust. This is exactly what they're talking about, but they're just talking about the long-term effects of this. So what can we do to lessen these negative effects? We have to find a way to manage these negative things or they'll overtake it. In the article, How to Stop Your Smartphone from Hurting Your Health, Mark Burton continues on from his research by giving possible solutions to these issues. He says, make choices to protect your attention. By this, he means make choices that will make you do things other than look at your phone, do things that keep you away from your phone all the time. Whether that be muting unnecessary notifications, taking intentional breaks, or even tracking your weekly screen time and trying to decrease it weekly. These are all things that are very simple that anyone could do, but they can show great results. The Greater Good also has an article entitled 5 Reasons to Take a Break from Your Screen. In this article, research that was done by Mary Gomez, a psych professor at Soma University, is spoken on. She talks about the 4-day fast that she has all of her psychology students do. She says overall results are students saying that they feel more present in the moments. One quote that she included was from a student who said, "Not using my phone while with my friends was a way of working on my relationships, and I noticed a difference between the conversations that night compared to other times." She quoted many students, but another one that stuck out to me was one that said, "During my walks from my dorm to my classes, I took my time breathing in fresh air. Focusing on my breath helped me savor my time being outside and eased my anxiety about not being on my phone. By the time I got to class, I'd become so consumed with my breathing and my sense of place that I forgot about my phone altogether." Something as simple as putting your phone in your pocket when you're outside or not taking it with you when you hang out with friends can have great results on your overall health in general. Now I want you to take a moment and visualize this with me. Imagine you go out to eat with a friend you haven't seen in months. And while you're at dinner, your friend sits on their phone the whole time, so you're not able to have a good conversation. You guys don't really get to connect. You go home, I'm sure you're not feeling well. How do you think you'd feel in this situation? Now imagine you go back out to eat with this same friend a month later. And since the last time you ate, your friend noticed the effect that their use of their technology was having on the people they're with. This time, when you go out to eat, your friend is listening to your conversation. You guys get to talk about life and everything that's been going on. Compare how you would feel in this situation compared to the previous. Probably a lot better. I say this to say that I believe there's great power in learning to live in the present and to interact well with the people around us. Though the use of our smartphones can be beneficial in many ways, like I stated before, it can be of a great value to inform yourself of the negative effects it can have in your life so that you're aware. I encourage you to try to implement some of these solutions, whether that be putting your phone down at night, avoiding being on your phone when you're with friends or family, or just muting notifications that aren't necessary. So I encourage you, next time that you get the urge to pick up your phone when you should be focused on something else, think about what you're forfeiting just to look at a notification or to scroll through a feed that will definitely be there later. Thank you.